Could he overforming in the back of class, bro?
The biggest, most him male will transition into a female when the opportunity arises. Such an opportunity would be if a hypothetical barracuda took the alpha female on a dinner date with Batman's parents. That void would get filled by the biggest male clownfish in the area, and his spot would get filled by the second biggest male, and the two would proceed to mate with each other. And since the only clownfish we see in the entire movie are father and son, I'll let you fill in those dots. In utero, and we know that because one time a scientist tried to slide his hand inside a pregnant shark's nookie.
What?
You already know how this street shit go. Catch a op, deal op, try to leave him on the floor. D-thing block, niggas knowing how we rock. Fat slugs like they came in a milk duds box.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back with another banger. Huh? Who? Could y'all heard me, bro? I said I'm back with another banger of a reaction for y'all boys, man. Hey, man. Say, man. Listen, gang, it's June. Well, not June, it's May. It's summer vacation, bruh. And I'm excited. More videos, more streams for y'all. I get to finally work out, bro. I actually do my splits correctly as opposed to not going and going and not going and going and not going and go because of the exams or assignments. Yeah, I felt that in my soul. Bruh. Y'all told me to react to this. I've been watching a lot of like animal tier zoo content, which I plan on continuing, obviously. But y'all told me to watch this guy as well, Casual Geographic. I ain't gonna lie. I saw my guy on TikTok a while ago. He keeps popping up on my For You page, and I love this content. So I decided, why not? And if you didn't know, bro, look at this. I choose this video. Well, I guess you could tell because you can see the title, whatever. Maybe y'all are just using me as background noise for your little, I don't know, bro, for your jerking off or gooning sessions, gang. All right, I know what you're doing. I know y'all. I've been there. Let me but fellas, this is gonna be me reacting to ruining Finding Nemo with science because I can. Listen, gang, if you didn't know, I love Nemo. I actually love Finding Nemo, bro. All right, shout out to Goat Dad Marlin. I think is his name Marlin. Hold on, yeah, not the streamer. Hold on. Yeah, it is Marlin, but Marlin. Shout out Dory. Shout out Nemo. I love this. I love this movie. I love Finding Dory. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I feel like nobody can really interrupt my love for Nemo, bro. That's one of my favorite Disney movies. Or wait, is Finding Nemo Disney or Pixar? I get so confused. Wait, is Disney and Pixar the same? Yeah, it's Pixar or Disney. Well, it says produced for Walt Disney, so I guess it's Disney. But it says Pixar and whatever, I'm calling it under the same umbrella. I don't give a fuck. I'm about to get like 50 Disney adults. Honey, dude, that's actually... Shut up, loser. All right, so yeah, it goes Finding Nemo, second, third, Monsters, Inc. and University, number 2, 1, and 2. I love those movies. Oh my God, Monsters University is my shit. Brother Bear? What y'all know about Brother Bear, bro? That's ball knowledge, gang. Brother Bear? Oh, the cow movie? Hold on, bruh. Home on the Ranch, bruh. Home on the Ranch. Hey, if you don't know Home on the Ranch, bruh, that's also one of my favorite movies. I know it's not Disney or Pixar, so it's just a kid's movie. But Home on the Ranch, gang, if you know, you know. That's ball knowledge, gang. That's ball knowledge. And that's elite, all right? But fellas, let's get straight to it. Let me stop yapping. I already know how y'all be. Honey, dude, just get to the video. Honey, dude, I'm unemployed, so I gotta watch it. Shut up, loser. All right, lock in. You're not, but
Remember that time Disney made a kids movie where a man's wife and children get violently ripped off the census and his only remaining son is left physically disabled, only for that same son to get kidnapped by a trafficker, and now the father has to travel hundreds of miles across predator populated hoods with only the help of a severely mentally handicapped woman. All right, when you put it like that though, it's not as cool, but the movie is very sweet. I ain't gonna lie. All right, Mr. Geographic, just because you word it like that, buddy, and your little science knowledge doesn't mean the movie isn't peak, all right, buddy? All right, you're not gonna ruin this movie for me. All right, so that's my goal for this video. Mr. Geographic is not ruining my video. I'll be like an anti-vax mother, all right? Science doesn't bother me. Yeah, Finding Nemo is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna destroy your favorite movie with science. And here's a challenge. Take a shot or a hit, because, 420.
I don't smoke or drink.
Every time a main character should have become a chalk outline. Your grandkids will be in AA at the end. So
this be y'all, bro. Is this y'all after y'all get off of work and watching me? This be who be tuning into like Kai's and Ash streams, gang.
Kai, notice me. I hope Duke Dennis sees me today. Max. Boys' night.
So it starts with a barracuda clapping virtually Nemo's entire bloodline.
Yep.
And here's where we get our first problem. Barracuda don't eat clownfish or their eggs, but you know,
oh my God, lordy.
Who do? Clownfish themselves.
Okay, well, I know, listen, I know that sounds bad, okay? But I do recognize that a lot of this is common in the animal kingdom, especially with, like, I think gerbils or hamsters do it as well. Or, like, mole rats. Someone in the not marsupial, but, like, in that family, that class, right? They eat their, like, babies so other predators wouldn't get it. It's kind of like the most petty move ever, you know?
Clownfish have been known to spawn, kill, and eat their own eggs, so Nemo's mother would have been infinitely more of a threat to him than any barracuda could have been.
That's not that bad. Okay, listen, that could be justified in the animal kingdom. It gets wild in the animal kingdom. I should know, Cuddy. I'm in the trenches. Cuddy, what do you do? You live in the burbs. Shut up, man. Gotta exposing me.
To be fair, if you ask the clownfish how they like their eggs, they'd probably say unfertilized, because those and damaged ones are the ones they'd usually
No, actually, considering Nemo's eggs were damaged, Marlin would have been the one to eat them.
eat, i.e. the ones that wouldn't make it anyway. But that goes against my narrative, so I'm gonna disregard it. The other elephant to address is how clownfish breed. Clownfish are sequential hermaphrodites, where
What does that mean? Sequential, isn't that math?
every clownfish is born a male, and the biggest, most him male will
Time has come. Also, don't think I didn't peep my mans right here. Cause look at my man's just chilling, bro. This be me, bro. I ain't gonna lie, this be me. Cause he aura farming in the back of class, bro.
the biggest, most him male will transition into a female when the opportunity arises.
Oh.
Such an opportunity would be if a hypothetical barracuda took the alpha female on a dinner date with Batman's parents. That void would get filled by the biggest male clownfish in the area, and his spot would get filled by the second biggest male, and the two would proceed to mate with each other.
Wait, hold on. No, clownfish don't technically mate, but you know, narrative. Oh.
And since the only clownfish we see in the entire movie are father and son, I'll let you fill in those dots.
I don't know if I like the movie anymore.
Clownfish aren't the only fish that switch teams. The Asian sheepshead wrasse does the same, but
Yeah,
in
this be y'all, cause that's a Rihanna forehead fish.
reverse, they go from female to male. Although with a face for radio, you will not see them on a movie poster. If Nemo and Marlin having the worst form of family therapy wasn't bad enough, there's a good chance Nemo wasn't ever even alive.
What you mean?
If I told you Nemo means no one in Latin, which
So, wait, what does hoodie dude mean in Latin? Just hoodie dude meaning in Latin. Just a loser. Online Latin dictionary. All right, hoodie. Let's do it that way. The search hoodie did not return any results. Are dude in Latin. Did not really. Let's put my name, Alex. Alexander. All right, there we go. Alexander the Great. Okay. Masculine noun. So I'm just known as masculine. I'm the peak, fellas. This is proof I'm the peak of masculinity, gang. I ain't gonna lie. Andrew Tate, loser. Red pill content, fuck him. Tune into the God. We're watching Finding Nemo, and we're learning that Marlin and his son would have fucked if it was canon to IRL.
which means the movie title makes the theory that Marlin married Itachi suddenly gained legs. He also could have been named after Captain Nemo from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Probably. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen this garbage movie, this filler movie. Not playing.
But that goes against my narrative, so I'm gonna disregard it. It's easy for facts to get lost in favor of a better story, and if you don't know where to look, you'd have no way of knowing. Like, you may have heard that the administration started putting tariffs on penguins. Now, personally, I think it's been time those business chickens ponied up. They've had it too good for too long.
Penguins? I don't know. I don't think penguins had it too good for too long. Look how they're built, bro. They just chilling for real. Penguins are actually real life demons too if you look it up. I ain't gonna hold you.
But I gotta pretend to be partial. So that's why I'm working with Ground News. Ground News is an app and website developed by a former NASA engineer who did not like the way she'd seen information be used as a weapon and how news outlets tend to prey on their users' biases.
That's based as fuck.
And remember, if you think you're immune to bias, then you're exactly who they're looking for. But Ground News counters that by grabbing all the world's headlines in one place so you get the luxury of comparing coverage. There's no tunnel vision here. With Ground News, you can get the full picture and truly be informed.
But I feel like most people already made up their minds and they're just kind of like, I guess, sheep to those media outlets.
Like with the
So I don't know. How would you like desensitize them? Just beat them up. Shoot them. No,
whole penguin taxation. Here you can see it was covered by 435 sources, and in terms of bias distribution, 36% were relatively center, with 40 and 24% left and right leaning respectively. You can also see that 82% of sources were marked as highly factual. Not too bad. And additionally, with the comparison feature, you can see that left literature mocked the policy for placing 10% imposts on islands only populated by penguins and pinnipeds, and right writers defended the tariffs, highlighting benefits and even a possible boon for the economy, as the overall tariffs have raised US duty imports to the highest seen in a century. And that's the great thing about ground news. My penguin
Keeps it grounded, yeah.
prejudice had me convinced I was on the right side of history, but after looking deeper, I don't think this is about penguins at all.
No, I don't think it ever was about penguins.
Also, the blind spot feature shifts your crosshairs to stories one side may have left out, such as climate change and non-native species,
Climate change coupled with migration of non-native species pose threat.
making
I ain't gonna lie, he do be chilling though.
life veteran difficulty for native fish. So, if you're chronically online and would like ground news in your toolkit, if you use my link, you'll get 40% off the same $5 a month Vantage plan I'm using. Make sure you go to groundnews.com/casualgeo or use the QR code on screen to subscribe.
There we go, bro. I'm telling you. What do you do? I thought you hate ads. I do hate ads, but I hate YouTube ads. Cause fuck YouTube. Alright, in most cases. I'm joking. I love YouTube. Yes, I love YouTube. I love it. But like ads like this that actually benefit the actual creator, I love. Support my man Casual Geographic, Mr. Geographic, bro.
And until you do, I'm controlling the narrative now. Nemo
Okay, buddy. I'm gonna make my own video with no facts at all. Be me yapping. Always been. I ain't gonna lie, my man Marlon look high as a bitch.
Noah's mom passed tense to progeny, and his father's going Marlon to Marlene as soon as he gets off screen. Alright, so Nemo is going to school, and when we get there, we meet these guys. And I remember as a kid,
I hated this one. I don't know why. This like jellyfish fuck annoyed the shit out of me. I can never explain why.
I was not sure what Pearl was.
I thought it was
Well, she's a
jellyfish, right?
young flapjack octopus.
Octopus.
They're remarkably adorable in real life.
Like little cat ears too. Look.
Problem is, if this were real life, she'd be a lot less cute. The flapjack can be found in depths as far down as 1,500 meters, or 100 meters short of a mile, or about 3.5 Empire State Buildings. And since this pink propeller hat can withstand crushing pressure, if she existed where Nemo could see her, she would be turned into disfigured mush. Think about how getting pulled out of their habitat turns a normal-looking blobfish into a deflated, misshapen whale fetus.
Am I chopped? Extremely.
There's a whole course that got memed.
It's a blobfish, bro.
Pearl being where the sun shines would reduce her to flamingo vomit.
Jesus fuck. You know, I still like the movie. Nah, you know what?
Also, at one point, Pearl says this about her arm.
It's actually shorter than all my other tentacles.
Well, octopus usually have one shorter arm called the hectocotylus, and its job is to deliver baby batter directly to the female, and in some species, it detaches for the female to swim off with like a Costco coitus card. In fact, the bedroom arm might have a mind of its own, since it can swim to the female, and it's believed it can even sense danger.
So it's their dicks.
So two things, Pearl's not a girl, and that is an indecency charge.
I know that sounds bad. I can't spin it. I'm not gonna lie. Who am I, Dan Schneider? Alright, listen. It's still a good movie.
And that's not the last time we go down that road either. Now, we're gonna ignore the fact that flapjacks don't actually have a hectocotylus because that goes against my name. So after Nemo sees his first pink slip, we
So we're chilling!
then meet Mr. Ray. Not to be confused with the op of the Irwins, because Steve wouldn't even want that. But also
RP to the dog.
because Mr. Ray is a manta ray, non-venomous and completely harmless.
That's cool. Okay, so nothing bad could be okay. So there's nothing bad you could say.
Now, I don't know if they did this on purpose, but they chose arguably the smartest fish in the ocean to be their teacher.
That's good. Hey, that's peak writing. That's accurate. We're chilling. He's nice. No harmless. Nothing weird.
Manta rays are considered the most intelligent, with the largest brain-to-body ratio of any fish.
So it's accurate.
The overachieving aquatic placeman
Don't fly to me, gang. Oh no, you scaring me.
is apparently capable of problem-solving and advanced communication.
Really?
They're also self-aware, with more than one occasion of a manta ray checking itself out in a mirror, and they were even caught waving and blowing bubbles at their own reflection.
Okay, that's really cool. That's really cool.
Just for reference, that's not how they'd react to another manta. Some mantas have even been on record asking divers for help removing hooks, so yeah.
That's so cool.
Since this one would have a teaching degree.
Okay, that's good. That's good. We're chilling. I wonder if he gets paid well. How does he get paid? With like food? He's paid in good jobs, like an actual teacher. No money involved.
Anyway,
Pay teachers more.
Mr. Ray gives the kids a marine magic carpet ride through the reef. Stop right there.
What?
As a kid, it used to drive me crazy that I didn't know what that was.
What, this magic carpet? Well, I didn't know what this was. I'm not gonna hold you.
Years later, I have the answer. Spanish dancer. This specific
Spanish dancer, it's like a OF model.
pancake is a nudibranch, aka a type of giant sea slug, and a
That's
species
cool.
known as a Spanish dancer.
Oh,
Named
that's so cool.
after the flowing frills of a flamenco performer. It looks a lot like what SpongeBob got caught watching in 4K, and ironically,
So, a prostitute.
sponge is what they eat, and they'll actually steal their toxins for their own use. It's essentially cultural appropriation with poison. They
Yeah.
also play for both sides, but unlike clownfish, they're born with both equipment. Now,
Got the overkill perk.
for how they use it, well, sometimes two slugs will donate nativity nectar to each other and head on their way.
Nice.
Some sea slugs have two penile appendages, one for delivering baby batter, and the other to stab their partner through the head to release a substance believed to brainwash the receiver into accepting their love juice while internally rejecting that of a rival. How
So a cougar.
do Spanish dancers do it? I don't know. I honestly stopped looking because I can only read the words traumatic insemination so many times. Also in the movie, that specific dancer has a name. Canonically, it's Maria. Or I guess Mario.
Mario? I mean, Mario or Maria? Mar. Yeah, Big Mar.
Both. So anyway,
Yeah.
you know how the story goes. Eventually they get to the drop-off, the kids start doing the type of shit that got Harambe packed, and
Yeah.
Nemo decides he really wants to live up to his name and gets himself kidnapped. His father tries to save him, but gets flashbanged by a camera. And yeah, that's accurate. A camera flash might not kill a fish, but it's severely disorienting and like a forced factory reset.
I would assume so as well. I feel like a camera flash would fuck me up as well. Like CSGO flashbacks unironically fuck me up as well. So I'm just imagining being a little dumb fish, right, with the brain of like a walnut, and I come across against a bald scuba diver who pulls out his little ying bomb, and I get flashed, taken away, get put on like a SeaWorld exhibit.
That's why they say
called ugly.
ain't no flash photos in an aquarium. One time a tuna mistook a flash for a fish and proceeded to one-shot itself into the glass in front of several children. So
That's just the dumbass parents. Let me see
time a
this again.
tuna
Hold on.
mistook a flash for a fish and proceeded
What if he broke it?
to one-shot itself into the glass in front of several children. So I take it back. I guess it could have murked Marlin if it made him split his skull on a piece of coral. A
Yeah, it probably could have.
little while after that, we get to Dory.
Hey!
She's a regal blue tang.
Her exact species is Paraconturus hepatus.
And a
Nailed it.
species of
Ain't got no lips.
surgeonfish that gained a lot of clout from the movie. She's also venomous with a caudal spine that extends whenever the fish is stressed.
That's cool.
Meaning Dory has a built-in prison shiv. Not only can it cause severe pain and deep cuts, you're also liable to catch a nasty bacterial infection. That's why they're called surgeonfish.
That's really cool.
They will cut you. Dory would also conceal carry a toxin called ciguatera, and poisoning can lead to migraines, trouble breathing, and hallucinations. So yeah, the beloved Disney character can be a real headache to deal with in real life, although to be fair, I've heard the same said about her voice actor. Not
What does that mean?
long after that, we meet Bruce, and considering he expeditiously kidnaps and essentially escorts them to an underwater white van, he might just be a predator in every sense.
Oh, he probably is. I always liked Bruce though. I don't know why. He never really scared me. The anglerfish though in the movie, that motherfucker petrified. Like, I gave me nightmares as a kid.
But when we see all three sharks, they swear by vegetarianism. We
Right.
also see this guy. Remember him. He's gonna be important.
Okay.
Now there actually are
Watch him be like, dude, I'm gonna say he's my favorite
Vegetarianism.
character.
We also
Look,
see-
I'm gonna say he's my favorite character. My man, Mr. Geographic, is gonna say some shit. This fish is actually known to be pedophiles and eats kids, and actually is terrorists that overthrew local governments and eats children again. Like, you remember Weasel from Suicide Squad? I actually liked Weasel. He was one of my favorite characters. And then Rick Flag decided to drop some lore on him, right? A little Wendigoon lore, and said how he ate children and stuff, and he's actually like a horde being. And then he drowned. So I'm just expecting that. What's the worst thing he can do?
see this guy. Remember him. He's gonna be important. Now there actually are vegetarian sharks. More than half of the bonnethead shark's diet is seagrass.
That's
and
cool.
turns out whale sharks eat a massive amount of green.
I don't care. I would never fly close to a whale shark. That is horrifying. I would never swim, or I said fly. I would never swim close to anything that could eat me in one gulp, dude. That is horrifying as fuck to me.
But considering we're talking about a great white, a hammerhead, and a mako, the only thing saving a clownfish and a blue tang is they're technically too small to even be worth the effort.
That's good though.
When Jaws cries about never knowing his father, it's because many sharks exhibit multiple paternity, where one litter can have several fathers.
Oh.
Shark mommy's womb is like a baby batter bouillabaisse, where paternity is like a lottery system. That was really gross.
Yeah, it is very gross, Mr. Geographic. Please apologize to my brain.
I'm gonna tone it down.
Thank you.
Yeah, Bruce has no way of knowing who his father is, but it
What the fuck am I watching?
Could be worse. Baby sand tiger sharks will cannibalize their siblings while in utero, and we know that because one time a scientist tried to slide his hand inside a pregnant shark's nookie.
Why? Wait, what the freaky ass?
Utero, and we know that because one time a scientist tried to slide his hand inside a pregnant shark's nookie.
Why? Was it a... For science? I'm not gonna hold you. I think some things are better left unknown. Why the fuck are you sticking your hand up that? Ugh. Or imagine it was like some intern too.
And almost got his finger bit off.
I feel like that's well deserved.
Okay, so later on, Marlin and Dory decide to dive into God's blind spot.
Ew.
Now, ignoring the fact that the pressure should have popped their eyes out and pushed their organs out of their mouths, they nearly
Listen, I would have survived.
get sent to a Tupac concert by...
Oh god, now my living nightmare is coming back. It's y'all goofy asses.
Anglerfish. Now, fun fact, if you watch the credits, that anglerfish lives a vorophilic wet dream when it gets swallowed by the little anxiety guppy from earlier. Funny thing is, it'd be the other way around.
Oh.
Anglerfish can distend their jaws and stomach and swallow prey physically bigger than they are. They extend so far that it inspired one man to pleasure himself with a dead anglerfish's stomach.
I don't think I want to watch this video anymore.
Which promptly sent him to the hospital.
I ain't gonna lie though. I'm being so serious. Execute that gooner. Execute that freak right then and there. Like, I'm being so serious. Run him over with a Nissan Rogue.
One man to pleasure himself with a dead anglerfish's stomach.
Like, why, bro? Bet you it was like some drunk frat guy. No balls. Put him down, bro. Put down that freak. Put him down like Oda Yeller. Mercy kill his ass.
Which promptly sent him to the hospital.
And should be like sent to hell.
Should have sent him to solitary confinement.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
That is a hell of a hear me out.
There's no hear me out. Let somebody tell me, hey, hear me out, bruh. Against a dead anglerfish, you getting karate chop out where you stand, bro. I'm hitting you with the domain expansion, hollow purple, hey, Cuddy, double impact too. Black, not even no black flash, just double impact, double impact, double impact. And then what I'm gonna do, Cuddy, the ultra kill little chainsaw shotgun pulling that shit out, you're cooked. Dunking on you, putting you in all types of animations, and then to end it off, I'm throwing you in the ocean, gang.
And that should forfeit your right to human contact.
Exactly. Forfeit your right to life. You're a loser. You're weird.
Not long after that we meet a lot of 90s kids' first introduction to rage bait. If these moonfish were humans in 2025,
POV sperm,
they'd be kick streamers. In real life, fish will use this shoaling strategy to intimidate predators using the hive mind method.
which is cool as fuck.
On a large scale, it's pretty cool. It makes sharks swimming through them look like an Etch-a-Sketch. But when predators like tuna gang up on them, it turns the bait ball into a slaughter. Also, just a callback, the reflection of the sunlight off the prey's scales is exactly why a camera flash can make a tuna crash. Out, that is. Now let's talk about Nemo. His buddy would have really become a no one before he ever saw his dad.
Oh yeah, he got really lucky, I ain't gonna lie. Let Nemo run into a big back who wants sushi, it's raps.
Tell you about osmosis. No. So diffusion just means molecules will move from one area of high concentration to low concentration, and osmosis is that, but for water.
Okay.
Stay with me now. As a saltwater fish, Nemo would normally have a higher concentration of water inside him than outside, so high to low, water would leave him like his mother left the mortal plane.
No, not as bad.
To avoid meeting her, Nemo would have to take in water while his kidneys work to pump the salt out. But put him in fresh water and the opposite happens. Now the concentration of water would be higher outside Nemo than inside. So high to low, Nemo would get internally waterboarded. So Nemo being flushed in a freshwater sewage plant means he would not make the sequel, as his cells would swell and rupture and he'd get packed up by water poisoning.
You know what, Mr. Geographic, I think you ruined the movie for me, you know. Yeah, I think you did your job, buddy. You'll win.
So fun fact, one line in this movie led to the deaths of thousands.
Please stop. God, he's beating the dead horse. He's beating up the dead clownfish gang. The dead clownfish wife.
You want to guess what it was?
All drains lead to the ocean, kid.
Just like that, Disney sent countless amounts of pet fish to the gulag at the hands of dumbass little kids. And if I had fish at the time, I would have been one of them. It also inspired children to set their goldfish free in the wild. Giant Goliath goldfish is why you do not do that. It's a
Jesus Christ.
a bug-eyed invasive that's basically a nuke to the natural habitat. Now, I'm not blaming the movie for this.
I'm blaming dumbass parents.
Their hands aren't clean. The irony is, a movie about letting fish be turned a lot of wild fish into pets and a lot of pet fish into the wild. Anyway, back to the father.
Please stop.
Eventually, they both get taken by a whale. And oh boy, there is a lot to unpack here.
Oh,
Stay with me now. That was
I'm staying with you, but I don't know if I want to stay with you anymore, bro. I'll let you slide past and the lane's wide open, bro. I don't know if I can play full court press defense anymore. I'm trying to stay with you, but I don't know,
a
bro.
blue whale. Not only are they the biggest things alive ever,
Other than y'all.
it takes so much energy for them to open their mouths. They only do it when
It's case. Let me show
they're
you.
guaranteed enough krill calories. Not only that, blue whales taking so much water in the process. We're talking 10,000 gallons or like 200 bathtubs. The effort it takes to carry all that means the blue whale can barely move. So yeah, Bluey would have been physically incapable of carrying them to Sydney. But even if they could, Nemo still would have come out of it an orphan. When blue whales hold all that water, they squeeze that water out with their tongue, and anything not water gets trapped in their baleen. It's how they filter feed, which means our fish friends would have been crushed to death by an 8,000 pound tongue. That's the weight of an elephant. Also, it would have been physically impossible for the whale to shoot them off at Sydney, since the blue whale's mouth does not connect to its blowhole. Also, whales don't shoot water out of their blowholes. It's really just warm whale lung air meeting cool outside sea air with some mucus, and it smells like a tire factory married the final boss of tonsil stones.
Ugh.
So if smell kills, they would have got a guest pass to fish hell. But ignoring all that, eventually they trade one live Uber for another when a friendly pelican saves them from a flock of hungry seagulls.
Oh god, what's he about to say? He's about to ruin this for me now.
Seagulls are a feathery antichrist and the spawn of Satan.
Oh god.
And they should be afraid of pelicans, since pelicans are documented literally swallowing birds alive.
Jesus fuck, that is horrifying.
In fact, one of the most traumatizing documentaries
This is accursed. I ain't gonna lie, if I was this kid and I ever saw this image, I would genuinely be terrified, bro.
I watched was where Cape Gannis were nesting on Malgus Island by the thousands, but because of overfishing, great white pelicans started pulling up to the nursery. What followed was a bunch of today pterosaurs strolling across the island like a grocery aisle and swallowing any unsupervised chicks alive.
Oh my god.
Like you could hear the chicks as they were sliding down their throats.
Ah, okay, new ranking, Monsters University, Monsters Inc. 1 and 2, Incredibles number 3, Soul number 4. Oh, Finding Nemo.
Only for the pelicans to fly home, just to regurgitate the recently devoured baby birds for their own pelican chicks to eat.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, Nigel might be the real villain here.
Yeah, kill them all.
Now that didn't really have to do with the plot, but I just sat here and overanalyzed
No, it kind of did.
a kids movie from 2003 because I have nothing better to do. And if this video gets 150,000 likes, I'll do it to another one. You
Please don't.
can probably guess which one. If only
All right. It was, I like this. I like Casual Geographic. The big Mr. Geographic. Why can't I'm trying to subscribe, but I can't. You know what? I guess this is meant to be. Fellas, yeah, Finding Nemo is ruined for me. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I was gonna do a whole this sounds bad, but I couldn't turn the tides, gang. As soon as he brought up the possibility that realistically Marlin and the son would probably fuck, yeah, I don't know how I could turn it around. There was nothing. Wait, honey dude, you could have actually done this, that. No, I'm not a weirdo like you. I'm not a Redditor. But yeah, man. That's gonna wrap up today's video, bro. Of course, check out these original creators, bro. Check them out now. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up today's video, bro. If you liked it, let it be. I don't give a fuck. Bye.